Every single World Cup, the same thing happens. A player scores an insane goal, the crowd goes crazy, and then the referee waves it off. Offside. The entire stadium groans. Half the people watching have no idea why. By the end of this video, you will understand offside better than most people who've watched football their whole lives, and I promise it's way simpler than it looks. Let's start with the basic idea. Offside is a rule that stops attacking players from cheating by standing right next to the goal, waiting for an easy pass. Think of it like this. Imagine you're playing tag, but one kid just stands next to the finish line the entire game, waiting for someone to throw them the flag. That's not really playing. That's just camping. Offside exists to stop football players from doing exactly that. Here's the actual rule, broken down simply. When your teammate passes the ball to you, you cannot be closer to the opponent's goal than the second-to-last defender. Usually that's the last defender, since the goalkeeper is normally the very last one. So picture this. There's a goal, there's a goalkeeper, and there's one defender standing in front of him. If you, the attacker, are standing in front of that defender when the ball gets passed to you, you're offside. But here's the part that confuses almost everyone. Timing matters more than position. You're only offside based on where you are the exact moment the ball is kicked, not before, not after. That exact frame. This is why VAR draws those weird lines on the screen during World Cup broadcasts. They're not guessing. They're freezing the video at the precise millisecond the ball leaves the passer's foot, then checking your body position against the defender. And get this, even a toenail counts. In 2020, a Premier League goal was disallowed because a player's armpit was offside. Not his foot, his armpit. That sounds insane. But it shows you how exact this rule actually is. Now here's something most beginners get wrong. Offside is not about where you are when you receive the ball. It's about where you are when the ball is played, so you could be onside when the pass is kicked, then sprint ahead of the defender, catch the ball, and it's still a completely legal goal. Timing beats position every time. Let's make this even simpler with a real example. Imagine a quarterback in football throwing a long pass. Now imagine the receiver wasn't allowed to be ahead of the last defender at the moment the ball left the quarterback's hand. That's basically offside. It rewards timing, patience, and smart movement, not just speed. Now here's a twist that changes everything. You can't be offside in your own half of the field. Only the attacking half. So defenders never have to worry about it. Only attackers do. And here's another twist. You can't be flagged offside from a goal kick, a throw-in, or a corner kick. Those are exceptions, which is exactly why so many goals come from corners. Defenders can't trap attackers offside during them. This is also why the offside rule completely shapes football strategy. Teams use something called the offside trap. Defenders step forward together at the perfect moment, leaving the attacker stuck behind the line, frozen offside before the ball even arrives. It's basically a trap door for strikers. One of the most famous examples in football history happened with Arsenal's defense in the 2000s. They were so good at timing this trap, opposing strikers got caught offside constantly, sometimes multiple times in a single half. It wasn't luck, it was pure teamwork and timing. Here's a question for you. Why does this rule even exist? Why not let attackers stand wherever they want? Because without offside, every team would just leave one player standing next to the opponent's goal all game. The sport would turn into long ball chaos. No build-up, no teamwork, no skill. Offside forces teams to actually create chances instead of cheating their way to goals. So next time you're watching a World Cup match and the crowd erupts, then suddenly goes silent because of an offside flag, you'll know exactly what just happened. And you'll probably understand it faster than the guy sitting next to you who's been watching football for 20 years. Let's recap quick. Offside happens when an attacker is ahead of the second-to-last defender at the exact moment the ball is passed. Timing matters more than position, and it only applies in the attacking half, not during corners or throw-ins. Here's the one thing to remember. Offside isn't football being complicated. It's football protecting itself from getting boring. If this finally made the rule click for you, subscribe. There's a lot more football confusion I'm about to clear up.